All right, I feel like I haven't gone live for ages. It was only 3 days ago, but I feel like it's been like a time warp or something, is kind of how it feels. So yeah. I got a big update. Big, it's like an energy update, but it's like crown chakra, third eye. I feel like I need to share what's going on for me because I've been quiet, just all these things. Well, I feel like I've been quiet, I say I feel like I've been quiet because I haven't been sharing. It's kind of interesting. So let me share this and then we shall jump on. And I'm curious how you're going because energies are a little bit intense. Just a little bit. All right, let me chuck this in here. Okay, and this one. And my cat's going crazy, and you wouldn't think that she just got de-sex the way she's carrying on. Just don't midnight. Oh my goodness. It's a little bit hectic, and I'm like, I lost my shit last night. Totally lost it. Oh my god. Oh my god, let's talk about that. Alright, I think we're good. Let me bring up comments here. Wanna check in with where we're at, because oh my god, and I got all my drinks here because I needed a really big choice. I needed all the choices. Okay. Hi Rachel from New Zealand. Hi Alina. All right, awesome. So, oh my god, hi Wendy. All right, so we've got like all the things going on, and I really wanted to discuss like so many things. So these are all the things that I want to talk about here, and there's like so much that I want to share, and I feel like yesterday I was going to go live last night, and then I just lost my shit last night, and I'm like, well, I ain't fucking going live like this because oh my god, look out. So I really want to talk about letting go of relationships that no longer serve you, letting go of control and the anger and frustration that comes with that, with letting go. Like there can be real anger and frustration when we're letting go of control. Things not working out the way you want, sabotage. You'll be shown clearly who is stuck in your energy. And this is very crown chakra energies. Yeah, this is very crown chakra because we're birthing new realities. We're really like busting through the new realities. Yeah. And we're starting to see the truth about who's stuck in that energy field, seeing the truth and these like all the stuff that's in your energy field because we're dropping into the third eye chakra. So for those of you who are new here, we're currently in crown chakra consciousness week, and we're moving into the third eye chakra consciousness on Monday. So halfway through though, we're already starting to feel those energies play out, yeah? So we're starting to see the truth, and it's like, stop looking back, you're not going that way. We're moving out of the old paradigms, but we might be kind of feel like we're in them. Now, it is Mercury retrograde as well. I think we should be nearly at the end of that, I think. Regret, and then we're also in eclipse season. So it's just like, oh my God. Even Jasmine's like, oh my God, it's enough. Enough. So, yes, so huge, right? So thank you for sharing, Louise. All right, it's going to bring up the comments here because I just read all of that out, and it's fully changed me being able to see the comments. There's so much going on, and I just feel like a little bit, for me, I've been feeling really frustrated. It's kind of really interesting. So I'm just bringing up these comments again. Okay. So, hi Geraldine, hi Chantel. If this is your first time, let me know where you're from around the world. Super lovely to have you here. Now, I know that there's some people feeling really, really awesome, and it's not that like, oh, I'm feeling good, so there must be something wrong with me. I mean, like, we don't really think like that, do we? We're just like, I'm actually feeling really good. And that's something obviously to be celebrated and acknowledged, and You know, there's no like good, bad, right or wrong that you're feeling this or you're not feeling that or anything that's going on. It's just literally where everything is. So Wendy says, yes, this hit me yesterday. Also, yes, Oksana, hi. So it's really interesting, right? That, you know, like it is Mercury retrograde. Maybe I should just see when that finishes actually. Mercury retrograde, not really pronouncing, here we go, 2021. I just have a feeling, okay, the second Mercury retrograde is here. So May 29, okay, just finished, right? Oh no, May 29 is the beginning. Oh my God, we're just in the start of it. So we're like starting the chakra consciousness journey, like through, in the beginning of a Mercury retrograde. Like, whose idea was that? Whose idea was that to start that? Oh my gosh. All right. Oh my gosh, I love this hand cream so much. Have you guys seen this one? It's like the woman essence, empowering and balancing your feminine energy. It is the Australian bush flowers. I don't know if you can get this overseas. Anyway, it's beautiful. So where do I start? And I just feel like I need to share, and I'm actually nervous to share, but I just like fully lost my shit last night. And I'm open for you guys sharing or asking questions about the energies or anything like that. And I feel like I want to share because this is like the basis of the crown chakra energies. It's the basis of the third eye chakra energies. As I said, we're like stepping into it. And even last night, I was like, you know, when I lost my shit, I was like, I haven't felt like this for such a long time. And I was like, this is so crown chakra. Like the anger of like birthing new realities, like that's really, you know, like what that is. And I know it's interesting. So what's today? Oh, it's Friday. So that was Thursday, Australian time. Tuesday I felt really off as well, and I had to go and like I had that sauna and the float, and that just reset me. At the same time, I feel like there's been a few Tuesdays where I've just felt like weird, and I'm like, what's going on? So trying to like monitor these energies, right? Because I question at times if I'm feeling like that. Is it just me? Usually not. But I've been questioning more and more, you know, like, yeah, it could be this planet or this whatever. At the same time, I'm like, so is there like a 5G turn up or something? Or is that just like not even a part of it? Like, I'm just curious, right? At times, I know we're in the middle of eclipse season as well. And, you know, and starting the chakra consciousness journey, like, oh my goodness, seriously, whose idea was that? I can't believe that I didn't think about that. A bit crazy. So, and I feel like I just like, I know I lost my shit last night because I just, like when we talk about birthing new realities, like I've just had my biggest month ever. And then, you know, it's really like busting through to a whole new reality. You know what I mean? It's kind of like broken like an 18-month kind of cap of where I've been at. And so it's like definitely a whole new reality. Now, in the crown chakra consciousness, we definitely feel like the anger as it's birthing through, as I was talking about on Monday, right? We're birthing through, but it's also like letting go of old paradigms. So you might find that when you're in the crown chakra consciousness coming into third eye, right, I really felt there was a definite shift. Like, you know, even last night I was like, oh, this is definite crown chakra energies, but I was like, like when we look at, you know, when I talk about the full moon, right, or any sort of peak kind of energetic standpoint, if we look at that, and ultimately Mercury retrograde only went retro a couple of days ago, ultimately. So when we look at, you know, I talk about the 3-day window with the full moon, and that came to mind last night as well, because I was like, oh, well, we're kind of like 3 days out from the third eye chakra, right? And so when we look at that 3-day window, we've kind of got, you know, like 3 days now, really stepping into the third eye chakra consciousness. The 3 days after that, then we start to flick into the ear chakra consciousness, right? So when we look at that 3-day window, I was like, oh, well, that's like a no-brainer then, right? So Zanetta says, I'm definitely feeling the anger. The anger is real. Yes. Yeah, it is real, right? And to be honest, like I said, I haven't felt like that for a long time. And like I tried to cry, I couldn't cry. Like wanted to cry. I've also been feeling that, like feeling like I want to cry. I haven't been crying, not because I can't, but you know, when I do feel like I want to cry and I can't, I also feel like I'm picking up somebody's energy. So I was conscious of that too. However, when all that anger busted out, I was like, oh, you know, because I was doing shit around the house, and of course I bumped my arm, like, I don't know, a fucking cat ran under my foot and just fucking tripped me over, and I landed, and I was just like, like instant tears. I was like, fuck this shit. It's like fucking cats. I'm like, oh my god, there's so many of them. I'm like, oh my god, I love you guys, but fuck. There's so many. Like, oh my god, I love you, but seriously, oh my god. So Wendy said, it was very sudden for me. I was okay in the morning, and by the afternoon I was so wound up, frustrated and short-tempered. It was very noticeable. That's when I questioned what's going on. Yeah, and that was the same thing for me. Like, yesterday was pretty cruisy, and then it snapped for me in the afternoon, and I think you're on UK time, if I remember correctly. Wendy, you're from the UK. And, you know, so it was yesterday afternoon, sort of like this time, an hour ago this time yesterday for me, because I went to take the cats to the vet, and then, like, we went to get them microchipped and couldn't, and just like, and I was just like, why didn't anybody tell me that on the phone? And that just set me off. I was like, I drove, and that's the other thing that's been like really like irking me here, because it's like, it's 20 minutes to the closest town, right? It's beautiful, but it's 20 minutes to the closest town. If you want to go to a decent shop, it's a good 40 minutes one way, right? And whilst it's really like awesome, like driving into town, like didn't really have the capacity to, you know, I had other things I could have been doing, but was doing the right thing, you know, with the kittens, and then couldn't get them done because I had to be a registered breeder. And I'm like, well, I'm not a fucking registered, like, oh my god, I was just like, why didn't anyone tell me this on the phone? Like, and I just lost it. And that just kind of like started everything, because I was just like, man, maybe I'm not supposed to home the kittens, maybe I'm supposed to keep them. And then I was just like, oh my god, it's so much work, I'm so over it. So it was like birthing new realities and like new things. But there's the other thing that's been on my mind about being here. It's kind of like, okay, this is beautiful, but like, you know, and that's why I was like, yes, the housekeeper, I need that, and someone like personal assistant, like I need all of that. But I'm also like, is this really where I'm meant to be? So when we look at these like birthing new realities, we're like questioning things, because we're starting to see the truth, right? As we drop into the third eye, we're really like seeing the truth about, okay, is this where I'm really meant to be? Is this where I'm really meant to be spending my time and energy? Or, you know, and I feel like right now that I am, at the same time, it's like, okay, what am I being shown here? Right? When we step into the third eye chakra consciousness, it's like we're being shown the truth about a situation, about our reality, about, you know, like about what's going on in our reality, right? We're seeing the truth. Yes, we're busting through, breaking through new realities, but also seeing new realities, right? So Zanetta says, so glad I'm not alone. I'm also during the chakra activation, you can definitely feel it. Like, yeah, it's strong, right? So the chakra activation will help, yeah? So if you guys don't have the chakra, the crystalline chakra activation, so there's 9 of them, so you can be using that crystalline chakra each week as we go through the chakra consciousness journey. So if you don't have those, the set of them, comment chakra below and I can send you the link for them. So yeah, it's really strong and it's really definite, right? And I'm getting the message to also remind you, so if you watched the welcome chakra consciousness, the crown chakra the other day on Monday, I said to you to also set an intention for this chakra consciousness journey. So it's like also keeping in mind every time something comes up or goes on or there's a shift, right? It's like, okay, are we in the 3-day window changeover to the next chakra? And then when we tune into that chakra, so like the third eye, we're seeing the truth. The ear chakra is we're hearing the truth, but the ear chakra consciousness is all about opening up to the receptive feminine and being open to receive all of your desires. It's where things start landing in physical reality as well. So whatever you're birthing or whatever you've been shifting through and working through, it's like it really starts to come home and hit reality on the ear chakra consciousness week, right? So yeah, and thank you Zanetta for that. Hi Natasha. Okay, so what else? All right, letting go of relationships that no longer serve you. And I want to talk about the old paradigms that are really like with that as well. So when we look at relationships that no longer serve you, I feel like with the crown chakra, oh, I'm coming in goosebumps as I say this, or truth bumps. So with the crown chakra consciousness, it can be very, lots of anger, lots of busting through different paradigms of reality. birthing new realities, but we're also being shown, I guess, who's stuck in our energy field. And what I mean when I say that is like who, so when we're birthing a new reality, obviously the old reality is going to start dropping out. Now, yes, we're in a Mercury retrograde. There's a lot of people having dreams about their exes. There's a lot of exes that always come up in the Mercury retrograde as well. And when we're also working consciously with the chakra consciousness journey, we're literally releasing the old paradigm and the old, you know, what is it called? Like the old relationships that go with that, right? The old, I want to say the old webs. Yeah, the old webs, because those are really looking at, you know, coming into, like, do those relationships continue to serve you? So you might be still seeing the truth for another week or so, and then at the ear chakra consciousness, it's like, no, it doesn't. Because at the ear chakra consciousness, it's also about the multidimensional world that we live in, all the possibilities of the universe, all the possibilities that you can manifest in your reality now as well. So when we really look at that, you know, opening to a whole new reality at the crown, we're still like, okay, we're like releasing all of these old relationships, yeah? And even if there's no like physical contact or, you know, text or email or message or whatever like that, it can be like energetic, yeah? So even if you're just dreaming about them or something like that, like it's an energetic release, yeah? So Louis says, oh my God, yes, had a dream last night about my ex. Yes. So very, very common in not just, what is it? Very common, very common, not just in Mercury retrograde, but also the crown chakra, because we're birthing and like releasing the old web. Like if you imagine it's like a big web of consciousness and we're birthing a new one, well, that web's going to drop away, yeah? So you might have been seeing lots of spiders around as well. So crown chakra very connected to the spiders too. Yes, trolls, fuck off. I'm in a angry mood. Just don't. I blocked them. I blocked them. All right, so what else is there? I'll just check on here because I don't want to mess up the comments here. So yeah, and it's interesting. So those of you who have the crown chakra consciousness actual big course, we talk a lot about demons and like demons and entities and people who are, you know, like dark spirits and that sort of thing. That's very common through the crown chakra consciousness, because we are busting through a whole new reality and busting through an entire new way of being. So I'm just gonna grab this kitten. What are you doing, Mimi? Come here. Come here. So yeah, when we look at all these new realities, it's like, and we bust through to a whole new level, there's almost like a gap, you know, when we look at, you know, as I always say, the best form of protection is being grounded in your body. So when we're like busting through, I want to say there's a gap, there's an opening. When we have a spiritual awakening, we're learning a whole new energy. And so there's room for entities, and this leads on to the sabotage. Because if you're, I want to say, holding on to those old patterns, if you're holding on to those old relationships, if you're holding on to those old paradigms, like you could look at it as sabotage. So sabotage is very connected to the base chakra, but it's also at the crown chakra. Why? Because the crown chakra and the base are very connected, right? Now, when we look at the base chakra and the crown chakra and we're birthing these new realities, the sabotage, you could look at as though we are, I want to say, holding on to that new reality, right? But the sabotage, like we're like, yes, okay, we're busting through, we get that, but fuck, it's so like hard or whatever, right? It's like real kind of tough energies that come in, yeah? When we're facing the truth of the reality and we're like, what do we do with that, yeah? The sabotage can come in as though we flick back to the old patterns or the old paradigms. And it's not even that we're like like, it's not like we're like clinging on to them, but they're just there, the old paradigms. And it's not like, oh, okay, well, I'm not letting go of it. It's just like, we're just, I want to say it's like we're in two worlds. Yeah, we're in two worlds, and we're playing around with the energy, so to speak. So when we look at these, you know, I want to say the balance, it's like a balance, it's like a play. Sabotage really comes into, I guess, if we stay there. And something that was so strong, I think it was this morning. Yeah, it was this morning. The cycles and the rhythms. And that's right, it was like this morning, but also I was talking to a client, it was Wednesday. And it was like, these are old paradigms. These are old habits. These are old patterns. These are old behaviors. However, this is also the cycles. Yeah, as they say, we don't go back. We're going up the spiral, and every time we go up, we're like, oh, and then we kind of catch it faster, and then we catch it faster. We're like, oh, okay, I just gotta skip over that one this time, you know? So it's not that it's like bad or you've gone back, or it's just like you're learning and clearing out another, right? Whenever we cycle back around to something, we become stronger in ourselves. And this is where really like trusting your intuition really comes into it, yeah? So, you know, we think that we're going back and it's bad, but actually we've come back around and we're trusting our intuition just that little bit more, because we're like, nah. And the old Hannah would have done that way and gone right into it, but I've only come to there this time. And then we go up and around again, and then we're like, oh, it's there, and like, okay, oh no. And we trust our intuition little bit and little bit and little bit and little bit more each time. And that muscle gets stronger. And then all of a sudden we're like, you know, doing our things, spiraling up through the journey, and our intuition becomes so strong that we almost like jump timelines, and it's like, whew, we're like shifted to a whole new vibration. And then those people might be here, but we don't even kind of connect with them anymore because we've shifted so much and we've kind of spun out of their reality, if that makes sense. I don't know, it's kind of an interesting analogy that came through. Yeah. Hi, Sean. Yeah. Yeah, you could see it as like a test, Shari. So Shari's saying that son's father keeps complimenting me, like being all nice to you, basically. So this is the cycle. And if it was me, I'd just completely ignore it. Wouldn't even acknowledge it. Wouldn't even make eye contact. Nothing. Just be like, like, just wouldn't even. Yeah. Yeah, so Penny says, I've been going back to the same kind of guy, but I've ended it learning lessons. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? And this is what happens. Oh my God, these kittens. This is what happens in Mercury retrograde. Like, it's what happens. All right. I've had to like learn to lock myself in my room. Oh my goodness, come here. Come here. Oh, you can go out. Alright, I almost locked the door before I came in, and I'm like, it'll be fine, because half of them were asleep, and now the temperature's dropping, and I'm getting cold feet. I'm putting my boots on. Oh my gosh, going over the same old ground again. Okay, going over the same old ground. Are you going over the same old ground, or are you going over the ground and recognizing how it's different this time? Or how you're different this time, or you're more conscious of things this time, right? So I think, and this is something else I spoke with my client about on Wednesday, I think we think it's bad, or we're like judging ourselves, but if we look at a cycle and a rhythm, it's kind of like it's an inflow and it's an outflow, and we learn to nourish ourselves in different ways, right? And sometimes we go back to that because it's a way we used to be nourished and feel good. And we go back and we're like, oh, it actually doesn't feel good anymore. And so we come back over and we do this again. And then we kind of go back and we're like, and it's the same thing. We kind of only go into it. Yeah, okay, no, we're going to stay over here. And eventually we skip timelines, jump timelines. Kind of like that analogy because that's really what it is there. So yes, my ex tries to get back in by being nice and I refuse. Yeah, exactly. So, and this is where I should have put on here as well, we're learning boundaries. So at the third eye chakra, it's all about relationships, and we're learning, we become stronger in ourselves, anchoring in our higher self, and we're learning boundaries. We're learning to see the truth, and we're learning to implement boundaries. We're learning to go, you know what? No, right? No, I'm not going to make eye contact anymore. No, I'm not going to acknowledge those compliments. I'm not even going to speak to them. I'm not even going to, you know, say, don't speak to me like that. I'm not even, no. It's like, here's my son, here's our son. I will see you on 4:30 on Sunday or whatever the thing is. Like, just don't even. Right? Or actually, I'm not going to pick up that phone anymore. Or actually, I'm actually going to block and delete and leave this time, right? And then we don't go back that time. Yeah? Yes. Yep. Exactly, right? So, if that's the truth then, see, I thought, so May 29 is the beginning of the retrograde. Let's just see here. Mercury retrograde dates. So until June 22nd. That's interesting, that's only just started, which would actually make sense because I think it's like 3 weeks before, that 3 thing again, 3 weeks before we actually start feeling the effects of it. And so the 3 weeks before, like, this is what I said to Jade, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. She's like, because we're talking about how I went for the sauna and the float. She's like, I need one. I was like, yeah, it's like the best thing ever. Like, I would go for floats regularly in the past, and I'm just so grateful that I actually found that place up here, because since I've moved, you know, needing to find everything again, right? And I've been on the road for like 5 months, and the whole, like, oh my God, it's been such a huge 18 months. It's been massive. And so I found that, but I had a 45-minute sauna and then an hour float. I was like, oh my God, I need that every time. So I was talking to her about it, and she said, oh, it's just been like so fast paced or something. Or she didn't say fast, she said hectic or something. I can't remember now. And I was like, yeah, like hectic and fast paced and like doesn't stop. Like that energy doesn't stop. Like that's what it's felt right. Like, you know, and it was like, it feels, so when was the eclipse? Last week? Oh my goodness, I think I'm a bit out of time. I think it was last week or the week before. Anyway, I think it was last week. It was like, I want to say 6 weeks. I want to say 6 weeks, a good 6 weeks before that eclipse. The energy just felt like, woof, like it's like a big like galaxy gush in. I don't know, like I don't think there's a solar storm right now, but if there was a solar storm, that's what it felt like. That the energy's like, you know, and then just, it's been hectic and fast paced, right? It was last Wednesday. Yeah, I'm a bit out of time. Like the energy hasn't stopped, and I was saying to Jade, and it's like I feel like we need to consciously make the stopping and really like pull it back and choose it to come back like big time, in a big way, for sure. All right, and it's really windy here now as well, and it's really like starting to pull out the, like blowing all the shit away, right? All right, there's something else that I wanted to talk about. Oh, that's right, I just want to check my phone because I write all these notes in my phone. Yes. All right, and so there's a lot of regret around, right? And you have to remember that at the crown chakra, when we're birthing these new realities, and the regret, I feel like regret comes in, we're birthing through, all the old webs and old threads are dropping away, and in the old threads dropping away, we have, what is it? Because we go back in a way. The old paradigms are there because we're shifting from this life to this life. We're birthing a whole new reality. And so there's regret. And so this is, I think, why we do go back, and this is what I teach in Trust and Intuition, how to not go back and deal with the regret and guilt, because if we do it out of guilt, which usually we do because we're like, oh, if I only did this better, or oh, if, you know, because I didn't do it that way, or oh, it was me, I've changed now, or oh, like, and we go back And then we're like, eek. But if we can just sit in that rather than act on it, that really shifts us to whether we're supposed to go over here or whether it's meant to be, this will come here, not you to it. Right? And this is so important. When you shift and can just sit there in it and be in it, it actually won't, you don't need to move. You will either spiral up over here and jump, or it will come to you, right? But I think the hardest thing for, when I say people like us, for people like myself, is really being okay with the level of guilt, being okay with the regret, being like working through that rather than acting on it. You know how they say don't make decisions when you're angry or whatever. It's the same sort of thing, right? Don't make decisions, don't act until you're clear, because when we're in that guilt and regret and whatever, we're not clear. We're not, right? So yes, great way to end your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Hope you've had a beautiful day. Everything you are saying is so on. Yeah. Yeah, didn't realize it was Mercury Retrograde. I know, I thought we were on the tail end of it, but we're on the tail end of it starting. You know, like that 3-week period before it starts, we've been on the tail end of that. Now we're in it. Now we're in it, and it's like, hold on. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, so much sitting in, so much up until 2 days ago. Yeah, definitely, right? Definitely. You're so welcome. It's just starting. All right, so I'm going to pull a card to finish off this crown chakra moving into third eye chakra live stream, the start of our Mercury retrograde. And we are leading into, I don't know if it's another, is it a new moon eclipse? I don't know. I think it was the full moon. There's another one here. Maybe there is one now. So the first solar eclipse will take place on June 10th. Oh, it's a solar eclipse. Yeah, Ring of Fire. Oh, it's a Ring of Fire one. Okay. So it is a solar eclipse next week. Yep, we're fucking right in it, aren't we? We are right in the eclipse season. So yeah, June 10. Oh well, next week, kind of next week. What are we now, the 4th? Oh yeah, it is literally next week. How, I'm just really out of time. Really out of time. So, and interesting because, so we're on the 4th now. This calendar is really weird to read. It's not Sunday. Oh my gosh. Bring me to today. Thank you. That makes more sense. I was like looking at the wrong month. No wonder. Oh, so the 10th is next Thursday, Australian Standard Time, Australian Eastern Standard Time. So we'll be moving into ear chakra consciousness. I was really wanting to check what that was because how interesting. So not only have we just moved into Mercury retrograde, we're also heading into dark moon now. And then new moon with the total eclipse. So that's going to be pretty big. The Ring of Fire eclipse. I'm just wondering if I need to do a ceremony for that. I'll tune into that. Been for 4 job interviews. Turned down 3. Yep. Yep. It's a big, big energy at the moment. It's really big. All right. So we have the partnership card. Interesting. We have the Goblin. And we have trust. That is like so typical of what I've just been sharing, right? So partnership, all the relationship stuff. The Goblin. the wounded human ego, that ties in so much with like the wounded self, going back through the relationships or holding on to the old paradigms, or even the old hurt and pain as we've been birthing that new paradigm, right? Like, oh my goodness, that's so on point. And then trust. This is where we trust our intuition and go spiral up, and then eventually we quantumly jumping over the timelines. This bottom card, the High Priestess, discernment, prescience, prophecy, and vision. So as you continue to work through the relationship stuff, healing your ego, healing your wounds, even trusting yourself, that's where this amplifies the High Priestess. This is where we really come into your highest self, into your visions, into, you know, like you anchor your higher self in. Oh, I'm covered in goosebumps. That's really what that's about, right? I love that. The trust card, of course, that's like the best ever. So good, so on. Yes, I love it. I love it. All right, there's our update for the crown and the third eye chakra consciousness. Comment below if you've got any questions about that. Hi, Christy. And Trust Intuition Early Bird closes in a few hours. So if you know that you have to be in there, please send me a message, or the link is in the title of this live stream, or you can find it on my page. And it will increase, and we start on the 5th of July, so there's still a couple more weeks, but early bird closes tonight. So send me a message if you've got questions about that. So Christy says, did you get my email? I shall check that now, actually, because I think Jade's at a festival today. So I'll check that when I jump off the live stream for sure. So Natasha says, Heartbreak Revisit and Review Central over here. So yeah, lots of heart. And I think that's what I was showing before too, around the crown and the heart, and the crown and the heart, like the heart is activated. Yeah, and for me yesterday, I know, and I was like, wanting to cry, I couldn't. I was like, am I carrying somebody's energy? Like, who am I picking up? Like, and then I hurt myself, and then it all came out, and I was like, yeah, that was my busting open a whole new reality, right? Because we have to grieve to let go of something, right? Like to truly, people say, how do you let something go? And I'm like, have you really grieved about it? Because if you haven't, it's not gonna happen. It'll still be hanging on there for sure. So I shall send you guys lots and lots of love. It's had 44 comments and 4 shares, and there's 14 people. There's all these angel numbers on here. I love it so much. I shall see you guys really soon, and I shall connect in more. I'm about to jump over into the Reality Awareness support group and answer some questions in there on live stream. So I shall see you there if you're joining me. If not, I shall see you soon. Enjoy stepping into third eye chakra, and I shall see you in a couple of days, if not before, for our third eye chakra consciousness live stream. So yes, love you guys. Oh, there's a comment here. Yes, you're so welcome. Topic for class at Earth School. It's definitely not just you. I love Earth School. I love Earth School so much.